During the time of the judges, there was a famine in the land. A man named Elimelech left Israel with his wife, Naomi, and his 2 sons to try to find food in a land called Moab. His sons married 2 Moabite women. One was named Orpah, and the other was named Ruth. Later, Elimelech and his 2 sons died, leaving Naomi without her 2 children and without her husband. Naomi planned to go back to Israel and told Orpah and Ruth to stay in Moab. She said, "May the Lord grant each of you a new husband." But Ruth replied, "Wherever you go, I will go. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." So Naomi and Ruth traveled to the town of Bethlehem. It was the beginning of the barley harvest. Naomi and Ruth needed food, so Ruth decided to go to the fields and gather any grain that the harvesters left behind. The field she chose to gather grain in was owned by a man named Boaz. He noticed Ruth gathering grain in his field. He asked one of his servants, "Who is this young woman?" The servant replied, "She is a young woman from Moab who returned with Naomi. She has been working hard since early morning." Boaz went to Ruth and said, "Please don't go and gather grain in any other field. Stay close to my female servants and you will be safe. And if you get thirsty, drink from the jars my servants have filled." Boaz also told his workers to pull out some of the good grain from the bundles and leave them behind for her to gather. Ruth told Naomi about Boaz's kindness. Naomi asked God to bless Boaz. Then she told Ruth that Boaz was a family redeemer. A family redeemer was a man who had the responsibility to help his relatives when they were in need. Ruth went to Boaz and said, "Please take me under your wing, because you are a family redeemer to me." Boaz replied, "I will do for you whatever you say, because you are a woman of noble character." Boaz went to the town gate and spoke to the elders. Boaz redeemed Ruth by buying back the land that once belonged to Naomi's husband. And Ruth and Boaz were married, and they had a son named Obed, who would be the grandfather of the great Israelite king, David. Ruth was in great need and unable to provide for herself. God provided Boaz as her redeemer. We are in great need and unable to save ourselves from our sin. God provided Jesus as our Redeemer.